Hey family, MJ here, and I have been gone for a while. The last video I made, I wrote and spoke about consistency. Then I had a daughter, and I did not expect parenthood to be as busy as it has been. But now my daughter is a little bit older now since the last video I made, and I'm more able to create videos and sit here and talk. I am in Japan right now. That was another thing that took up a lot of my time, getting my family ready to move to Japan. Me and my wife worked together, and we worked very well together to get our whole lives moved from Los Angeles to the other side of the Pacific Ocean. And now we're in Japan, not in Tokyo or Osaka. We are in the prefecture of Gifu, where I stick out like a sore thumb, but that is not a problem at all. I love it here. It is beautiful. It is a nice 180 from the fast-paced nature that I did grow up in. I would like to focus on the thing that has brought me the most joy in my life in the past few years outside of my family: meditation, mindfulness, and stoicism, right? I think they all go together. I will also be working on my videography skills and, I don't know, maybe my acting, to try to bring to life stuff that's going inside my head, or try to articulate and show how I picture this whole mindfulness journey that I've been on. So today I will start off by doing a little skit, the one that I just mentioned. After the skit, I will talk about the inspiration behind the skit. After that, we'll do 1 minute of mindfulness, where if you are a beginner to mindfulness, this is a good introduction. We're just going to follow our breath and see if we could grow the mindfulness that we have in us. And we're already mindful. We just need to grow it. We just need to nurture it. Lastly, I will share a temple or a shrine that I've been to in Japan. There are tons of them all over the place. All of them are beautiful, and they all have a story behind them. Sometimes I don't understand the story as a whole, but when I can understand the story, or when I am able to get the backstory of these shrines, I will share them with you. But if I can't, I will just share the visuals, and I hope that you enjoy them regardless. And yeah, that's it. So without further ado, let's get started.
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun. I never want to leave this bed.
What's up everyone, MJ here. Hope you found that previous skit amusing. This week I was inspired by Seth Godin's book, The Icarus Deception, How High Will You Fly? In it, Seth Godin inspired me, and I'm sure many other people, to think outside of this mindset that the ideas and goals that I have in my head, or the ideas and aspirations that I have, are too lofty to be achieved. There's a song that I really like off of the artist Protege's new album, In Search of Lost Time, titled Like Royalty. It's one of my favorite songs on the album, and it often has me wondering what would happen if I made it in life. From that, and also from Seth Godin's book, I started to think, what does this idea of make it in life really mean? Growing up, I was taught making it in life, there are certain steps that I must follow in order to make it. Go to school, get good grades, don't overstep authority, get to a good college, to get into a good job. And once I get into a good job, gradually climb up the corporate ladder, have a big home, and live happily ever after. That was the idea of this industrial mindset that has been instilled in not just me, but in so many of us, especially in America, where it's like the source of this, the American dream. Recently, I've seen so many people go against because they find that they have been following this formula, but still they are not happy with where they are in life.
In August, more than 4 million workers quit their jobs, a record 20-year high.
A lot of people are taking time to reevaluate what they want to do with their lives and what work actually means to them.
You know, people around the world are quitting their jobs. 41% of the world's working population is planning to switch this year. 95% of Americans are thinking of quitting their current jobs this year.
We've had so much time that, we had to be in our homes and spending time with people that we live with, and just shifting priorities.
And she's one of 4.7 million business applications filed from January through October of this year, a 34% increase from the same time period in 2019.
If you're anything like me and you have been trying to accomplish your goals outside of this industrial playbook, you might have come in contact with some resistance. Seth Godin references the author Stephen Pressfield in his book, The War of Art. Stephen Pressfield calls this blockage, this thing that stops us from moving forward, as resistance. I thought about it as the ego. I felt this is so much what I've experienced as my ego, telling me that you can't accomplish this. Why don't you stick to the thing that you know that you can do? So when it comes to getting out of bed to go to work, even though it's freezing outside, even though I am sad and miserable inside, I still do it. When it comes to getting up out of bed to do the things that I want to work on, I kind of hesitate. I go back to sleep, make every excuse in the book to be comfortable, and I think that is the ego trying to block us, putting that resistance in our way to stop us from accomplishing the goals and aspirations that we have. If we want our lives to change, and to a greater extent the world to change, then we have to learn how to manage our ego. The way to do that is through mindfulness. Mindfulness will better help us manage our ego when it does pop up. When we're in bed and we have work to do and our ego is telling us, don't worry about it, we know how to come back to the present moment and just get on with it, to get on with our day and not worry about whatever goals or whatever aspirations the ego is throwing at us, but instead come back to the present. So first, we're going to find a comfortable position. The only recommendation that I'd give is that we imagine our posture like we are a confident ruler. For this 1-minute session, we'll be focusing on our breath, but knowing that it's entirely likely that thoughts will be racing in our head. When I meditate, I'm always reminded how my brain goes nonstop when I'm not being present. Mindfulness practice helps to take an objective view of the thoughts going on in our brain, and by sitting down and non-judgmentally observing our thought, we are able to see all the places our mind takes us if left alone. But before I start this timer, I ask that you close your eyes, take a deep breath. After the exhale, resume breathing naturally. And now take some time to find a focal point of your breath that you'll use to be present. The breath is great for mindfulness because we carry it everywhere that we go. Personally, I use the opening of my nostrils because I can feel the air flowing, cool when it enters and hot when it leaves. But you could use whatever or wherever you can feel the breath clearly. When thoughts do come up, observe them, acknowledge them, let them go, and then return to the breath. If you can't, that's totally normal too. All right, let's get started. Slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. And just like that, 1 minute is done. Really good stuff today. I'm proud of you for taking this time to give meditation, mindfulness a try. Let's close this off by putting a hand above our heart and thanking ourselves for practicing today.